let's just pick your nose before the video starts. It's just an itch. I'm not picking boogers. I'm not digging for gold. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's gonna be, okay, I was gonna say it's gonna be a quick video. I'm gonna try to make it a quick video. You guys know I have a really hard time just shutting up. So I wanted to do this video because right now I have a promotion going on with Sigma where I get 20% off for just my own followers because I did a campaign with them, Come Clean with Sigma, and I showed how I wash my makeup brushes and I did an Instagram post on it. So they told me with that I'm able to give my personal followers, aka my friends here on YouTube, on the tube, a discount of 20% off, but the discount's only until the 23rd and I haven't announced it. I just barely, I'm like, announced it. I just barely mentioned it on Instagram. I mean, it was on that Instagram video, but I wanted to do the post now because it's still time and hopefully I get this done in time, and now it's already so long and now the intro's gonna be so long and I'm just wasting time. But on other days, you can always use my code WOOP. It's always the same, whoop. I always have to say whoop. I can't just say whoop. And you'll get 10% off any other day, but I wanted to do it now because it's 20% off. And also Ebates. Okay, you guys, get on this. Ebates, you get cash back whenever you spend online. They have a ton of stores and now Sigma's added. So I'm really happy because when I made my own order, because yes, I do order my own brushes too. I always use Ebates too, so I'm getting a double whammy. So let's get on with it. So today I'm only going to mention brushes that I feel like are a must, like my more holy grail brushes, or I think that are worth purchasing, because when it comes down to it, you don't need every single little brush. You really don't. It's really easy just to get sucked into the hype of like buying all these different brushes, and you have all these and you're like, okay, how do I use them? Why don't I use this? And they just sit there. So today these are like the creme de la creme. And I'm also going to be showing you makeup application, how I use them and stuff. So first brush I'm going to talk about is the Angled Brow E75. Now, you're probably thinking, Lizzy, this is just a brow angle brush, like that's so basic. Trust me, it is not. If you can see, sorry, I'm trying to get my focus right. If you can see how sharp and precise this brush is, that's how it stays. I noticed with a lot of my other angle brushes that the bristles just start getting more flared out and it just doesn't have a more precise application. The only downside I will say for me personally is there's no spoolie at the end, but I always have a brow pencil on deck. So say like I'm using brow pomade or powder, this is my go-to just because it is really nice and thin. I was obsessed with, where is it? I feel like everybody was obsessed with the Anastasia, but let's just look at the comparison. If you look at the Anastasia, it's much thicker, and with this, I realized like when I was doing my eyebrows, I'll place a product and by the end, since it is thick, it's easier to get a thicker brow, and then I had straight caterpillars. I mean, there's nothing wrong with caterpillars, but some days I just don't want caterpillars. So I have been reaching for this one just because it's so nice and thin and it doesn't flare out after you wash it. It just stays intact. So it's easier just to kind of define your brows and not over exaggerate them. But for me, I just find that it just works so perfectly just to give myself more of a natural brow, and then I can just build it up from there. It also helps me from taking time and cleaning up my brow. You guys know I don't carve out my brows, but say that I am using this brush. When I do my brows, since it is so thin, there's no mistakes that I'm going to do where I'm going to accidentally hit here, and that's what happens with the other brushes. So see, I'll just dip into pomade or powder. I'll just kind of stroke it through, and look how fast and easy that was. And I still kept a more natural brow. Plus, it's really easy to tail out. On that Anastasia one, since it was thick, I would have to kind of go like this to make it thin because it wasn't allowing me to get that nice tail. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so I know I look a little bit cray, but it's okay. So I know I have a lot of Beauty Blender, aka Beauty Blender fans out there, and I absolutely love the Beauty Blender. But ever since Sigma came out with their 3D HE sponge, I'm obsessed. And the reason why, I'm sure a lot of you are like, a sponge is a sponge. But no, I love like how bouncy it is. You know, you don't want it like too firm, and it blends out everything really nice. But the main thing is that there's so many different sides. So it has this end right here. Like, look at all these sides. So I love using this obviously for concealer. I'll use the bottom for foundation or also baking. I like this because this edge you can use for contour, and I find that I use every single edge. When I have, say, like a round sponge like this one, look at this shit. It's just all filthy, and it's hard to distinguish which side I want. So if I'm blending out my concealer, then it's hard because then I don't like putting my concealer in with my contour and then it disrupts it, because I notice a lot of people have that issue. So for this, I'll use like the pointed edge to blend out. And it blends everything so nice. And for this, I don't even have to wet it a ton. I mean, I did wet it. I put a little bit of Fix Plus, but that's about it. A brush that I use 24/7, like I use it all the time, which is why I just purchased a new one, is the Tapered Highlighter F35. And I love how they package their brushes now, because before, I don't know when they started this. I don't know if it was like last year, but I'm pretty sure it was last year, but they started placing their brushes in boxes, and I love how it just protects the bristles, because if you buy from a lot of other places, they literally just stick the shit in a bag. They just like wrap it around, but then sometimes the bristles can get all messed up. So I love how they have these protective boxes and they stepped it up. I think that's really great, because I mean, you're paying money for these brushes, and why ship them shitty? I find that a lot of products that you buy, they'll just really, you know, downsize in shipping. But I think packaging is key. Ew. Key. DJ Khaled. It's major key. They don't want you to succeed. So once you get the little sticker off the side, there's a tab here. I don't know if you can read it. It's, see, right there, it says pull here, and then you'll just bring your brush out so that you don't disrupt it. It's like, and look how nice that is. So, look, it's perfect. So I'm not one where I lie and say, oh, I wash my brushes before I apply. I just go straight to application. So I use this brush for setting my under eyes, setting my eye, and I also use it for highlighting. So I like buying brushes where they have a lot of different uses, not just for like a one-time deal, you know? So it's good when they have multiple purpose. So now we're gonna go into my crease that I love. This brush is the Tapered Blending E40. I've had this one for like forever. Look at this. It's this one right here. I love this brush. It's kind of dusty and dirty, sorry, but that's just what's gonna happen today. But I love this brush because it diffuses eyeshadow on your crease so well. It's so effortless. When you have like a brush that is more rough and the bristles aren't good, I'm getting that excited to diffuse my crease, people. I am. So when you have this brush, it just makes makeup application so much easier. I always say you can use cheaper makeup and drugstore and even brands that are just like no brand. If you have good tools, they make all the difference. So I always say invest in tools because it really does help. So watch, you'll see. I'm gonna put this color into my crease and it's not gonna give me any harsh lines, and it just diffuses it so fast and so simple. And it really downtimes my blending time because you barely have to blend. It like blends out itself because it's so nice and fluffy. See? So here's my crease color and look, it's all diffused. And I love this one. You guys always see this brush and it's actually really worth it. Like if you're gonna get a crease brush, grab like 2 of these. One for like a transition and then one to like blow out smoky colors, and then you'll be set. It just blends out so easy. I'm gonna go on to eyeliner. If you notice, I didn't mention any shader brushes yet on my eyes because I find that you can really just use your finger if you are one that uses your fingers. I personally don't, but shader brushes come a dime a dozen. You can get them at CVS. You can even use those eyeshadow applicators. I'm not really picky on shader brushes. The 2 brushes I love for my wing liner, E11. Now, this is super similar to the loved MAC brush, which is the 210, which I do own, and I'll show you why I actually prefer the Sigma one much more. So if you look at the MAC 210, and if you look at it, the bristles are a little bit longer, and I'm telling you, it really makes a difference in your application for your wing because I don't have as much control with this one as I do the Sigma. I like how the bristles are shorter because then I'm able to be more precise. I find that this one, I can mess up my wing easier once it comes to the flick. Go for the E11 from Sigma because just it being shorter, you can get that flick so easily. Now my holy grail, like if I had to pick one brush for my wing liner, it would be the wing liner brush. So this is what it looks like. It has an angle, right? Look how perfect that is. I use it with my Rimmel gel liner. Like I said, I don't have the Inglot 77. Well, I don't even really like that one. It smears a lot. Oh, Wicked gel liner from Sigma is bomb. But I will say you can use like another one. It's pretty similar to the Rimmel because that's why I've been using Rimmel. I'll just put that out there. But I do really love the Wicked one. It never flakes. It stays on. So if you wanted to try out a new one, I highly recommend it. I just don't have it anymore because I already used mine up. I went through like 5-6 pots. Oh my gosh. But so now I've just been getting the Rimmel because I don't have them on deck anymore. But it's so good. Like I said, the tools make the difference, not always the makeups. Here. I bring it back here. Go up here. And look how like thin that line is. How precise. Like, oh, I love it. See? And now I'm just going to bring it down. Connect it. I mean, you can't get any more precise than that, right? Even to the point where I don't even have to clean it up. Sharp. I'm gonna go on to the E11. Now I'm gonna grab some product. I'm gonna show you I can get the same exact effect. It's all personal preference, really. Here. Sorry if I'm not talking. You know, wing liner gets all, you know, shit gets serious. Okay, now here comes the flick. Shoot, the neighbors have their gardeners coming. Okay, so let's see. Now we're gonna get that flick right here. I'm always dropping stuff. Now I'm just gonna connect. Notice how always one eye is so much easier than the other? Straight holding my breath. See, it's still just as good. Here, here. I just need to like fill it in more. So I do like this one too because I do have a nice sharp edge. I just really prefer the wing liner. I think it just gives it a little bit more sharper of that cut. Really quick, if I am going to diffuse and smoke out my crease, I like the E38. It's obviously smaller than the E40. Here, let me show you E40. See, E40 is on the right. I think that's your left. And then here is the E38. That one I like smoking out my side. Sorry, just wanted to say that. Onto my foundation, I like a couple things. So one thing is, so I'll use the bottom. Here, I'm going to use my Maybelline. I don't even know if this is my shade right now. They put the shade on the cap. I just realized that, and I don't know where the cap is. So I like using the bottom of the 3D HD. And one of the reasons that I really love this one is because since there is this sharp edge right here, it's really easy to get the foundation above the eyebrow. Foundation up here. Say that I'm blending all of this out, right? Okay, yeah, this is a little light for me. I like how it can go right above the eyebrow right here, and I can still blend the foundation around here and not disrupt it. Another one that I love is the round top. I like the round top because you can really buff the product into the skin, and it looks really nice and seamless. I think I like the round top more now than the flat top Kabuki because I find that I can use this to also help blend out creams because it is round top. So I like this one, but I mean, flat top Kabuki is just as good. And I find with flat top, when you stipple it on, you get more coverage. So that's a benefit of the flat top. Oh, and really quick, just so you can see, because I did purchase 2 more wing liners because I'm that obsessed. This is what it looks like in the box. See, I just like how it's protected. Okay, so now another brush that I do like is the Concealer Blend Kabuki. This is not like a must, but I know a lot of people love this style dome brush for underneath for concealer. This one is the Concealer Blend Kabuki. I do like it because it does blend out really nicely. It does help blend out. Look, see how the bottom's really nice and blended? It blends it out easily. The only reason why I don't personally like using these is because you can't get like too close to the eye. Well, at least for me, I find that it kind of gets, see, it's hard to get definition right there, but I know a ton of people use these. I mean, this one is a good one, and the reason why, see, I disrupted my eyeliner. I do like it because it does blend the concealer out nicely. It's just hard for me because to get right in that inner corner is difficult, but I like the way it blends out. I find that other bristles, they kind of just leave like marks all over the place, but like I said, I do really love this 3D HD, and another reason, because look, I can get sharp right there. That one is not just for doing under eyes. You can blend out here, here. That's what I'm saying. Now we're going to go back to my favorite brush that I've already used to set my eyes, the Tapered Highlighter F35. And this is awesome. Oh, I was gonna do the other side, but I wanted to show you something really quick. So this is awesome to set underneath the eye. This bottom sponge, if you pack it up with powder, this is perfect for baking. So it has like this edge right here and you can go right underneath there. 1, 2, 3. See, and you can bake. And you just get right underneath there. And it's perfect for baking. So see, I have that. I can still blend on another side. It's not like it's too dirty. So that's what I'm saying. I have like multiple uses in the one sponge for each application. So I love that. So I'm not one to really bake. So let's just sweep this away. My favorite way to contour is with the small dual fiber F55. Here it is right here. And here is a filthy one. But this one is nice and freshly clean. So for this one, I love the bristles at the end of this because the dual fiber bristles just help blend out so nicely. So I'm just gonna use this bronzer shade from the Chrissy Teigen palette from Becca. And what I love doing with this one is just doing small circular motions, and it gives you like that soft focus contour, like that bronze. This is perfect to warm up the face as well around, and that's why I love it. And then another way I love to bronze is using the powder blush brush. This one is the F10. I find that no one ever talks about this, but I know it looks like super long and you'd think like, oh, only blush, but it's not. Like, I love the way it just strokes the bronzer. Like, this one is my favorite, I think, for warming up. And this one is for a more just like soft diffuse contour. And this one, oh, I just love this one. Now, if I want something a little bit more defined, then I'll take this one. This is the soft angled contour, and it gives me more of that chisel, you know? So you can go back and forth with this one and make it more defined. See? Right there. So there's different brushes that I do use. What's so weird is I'm figuring people would have, what the hell is that? I'm figuring people would have thought I would pick the small contour F05. But the dual fiber is the way to go. It blends it out easier. If you're someone who has an issue with contour, which I have always had that issue, I'll be very upfront with contour and blending. This one, the bristles just hit the skin and it lets the skin pick up the pigment, and I just love this one. So if I had to pick one, this one, because this one is also awesome for blush because it diffuses it really nicely. But there is a larger one, which is the larger dual fiber, which is the F550, but this one is a twofer. So if you were gonna pick in between these two, I would just say go for this one because this one can do soft contour, warming up the face, hit underneath the chin, end of the nose, but you can also do blush. So it is a twofer. Diffuses the blush really nicely. It just gives like a little soft flush, you see that? And then you can build it up from there. So you never have to constantly go over and worry. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys, it was our gardeners. I didn't even know they were coming today. For anybody asked, Dior Fluid Stick in $3.89. Kiss Me, my favorite. Now going back to this brush, what I'll do is I'll just kind of flick it back and forth to get the translucent powder just as much as I can. It's translucent. Then I'll go into a highlighter and then I'll use this for my highlight right here. This is my favorite highlighter from them. They do have other brushes. They have the Spotlight, which is also really nice, but I only have one of those and I don't know what happened to it. But I really like that one because it diffuses highlight really nicely. It looks like this one, but it's thinner and the bristles are more loose, so it's more, you know, it's not as dense. That's what I'm trying to say. So I love this one to highlight. It's like my favorite. And for the, you guys already know, I love it. Oh no. Last one. So whenever I want to hit that inner corner to have that pop of light, I always like the shader Inner Corner E46. This is my favorite because it's just super precise. It's really nice and soft. It's not too stiff. Just hit right in that inner corner and you can be really precise. Okay, so now to cleaning your brushes. So my favorite now is the glove. Now they have one side that's for the face and it'll say face at the bottom, and this is the glove, and another side for your eyes. So they have all different textures and all of that. So Here's what it looks like. So the reason why I like this is because of the fingertips. Before, I kind of really loved the matte way more because I was like, oh, it's so easy. Like, you just swirl in the thing and it goes a little bit faster. But here's a smaller one. I was using the larger one, but I realized you don't really need the larger one. I find that it was making more of a mess in my sink, so I prefer the smaller one. Plus, if you're someone where you don't know how large your sink is and you have a smaller sink, because there are different sizes in sinks, this one will work out really well. So no matter what sink you have, this will fit it. And that's what I like. It's also good for travel, say like you wanted to travel with this one. But I would say I prefer this one because when you stick your hand into your glove and you're washing your brushes, the thing that I like the most about this is that the refine. So say that you're swirling, you're getting, it has all these cool different textures. The main thing is that I like to squeeze it with the bristles and it gets all the water out, and by refine, it's keeping the shape of the brush, and that's what I like. I noticed when I was using the matte, I'll swirl it around, I'll clean it, and then after I was kind of like using my hands and I was yanking out bristles, and I don't know, I just felt like it wasn't keeping its shape as well. So now they do have their Sig Magic brush shampoo. Now I really like this because it is pretty liquidy. So when I think of that, I think that it's gonna get all down into the nitty gritty, because if you use like your solid cleanser or brush cleansers, the suds will eventually go in and if you're really getting in there, but I feel like since the solution just drops down in there and then it suds down from up, like it starts from here up, that you're really getting deep down where all like the nitty gritty and makeup is just settling into. So it comes with a pump, and when I'll just do like one little bit, and you see, you can't even see where the shampoo went, but it went all the way in there, and that's what I like. So then when I start sudsing it up, I know that it's cleaning the bottom all the way up to the top. I absolutely love Sigma brushes. I know there's this whole thing like, oh, but Morphe's more affordable, all of that. Honestly, if you guys know me, I've already had so many Morphe brushes sent to me. In the last 3 years, I've never even gotten a code, and it's for a reason. And obviously you see people pushing those codes, yeah, because they want to make commission, and yeah, my Sigma code is affiliate, but I want to push products that are really worth it. And that's why I haven't really gotten a code from Morphe, because there's so many hit or miss. I mean, I plan on getting one eventually, when I do, but I don't know. There's just too many brushes that I used a couple times and they just flare out and they're rough. And that's what I don't like. So I know some brushes are pretty good that I have used from Morphe. I'm not going to lie. I do like some of their brushes, but a lot of them I'm just like, what's the hype all about? Like, even though they are affordable, in the end, you're going to be investing more money to replace those brushes once they get all So I rather have brushes that I'm gonna, invest in, and I know they're gonna last a really long time. Like, I'll never forget, like, I remember I used to watch videos and then I saw someone like talk about Sigma, and I purchased the whole set, like the first kit, like I forgot what it's called, and I still have all my brushes till today, except the ones that Nani bit, but ooh, excuse me. And they've lasted so long. So like I said, it really depends on the tools, not on the makeup all the time. And I would just invest. So yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to take advantage because the 20% is only until the 23rd. Sorry, so late. And if not, if you're watching this after that, it's 10% off. You can always use Ebates because now they're on Ebates. So you can get cash back and a discount. It's a double whammy. So I hope you guys enjoyed my honest review on these brushes and products. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Mwah! Woo-hoo!